Hello, welcome everybody to the Inverraman Brewery's special video launch of the Inspiration Series. I'm Ken Duncan, head brewer Inverraman Brewery, and beside me we have...
I am Fergus Clark. I'm the MD at Inverraman. Welcome everybody. Hope you're going to enjoy this evening's little chat from us. Just to set the scene, tell you a little bit about who I am. As I said, I'm the MD. I get to do all the glamorous stuff at the brewery. Just this morning, I had my head down a drain, picking out a very smelly effluent sample, followed shortly after that by removing some bins that the bin men had left outside. So, like I say, full of glamour, my job. So what is it we're going to do tonight for you? What we're going to do is we're going to introduce and explain to you a little bit about our Inspiration Series. I promise you that I won't keep you too long tonight, because we do understand that your time is very valuable, and there's also a Chelsea match on tonight, and I'm sure some of those Blues fans will be tuning in, and it's just a shame they don't have any Sunburst which to be able to cheer their team on with. I would ask that and invite you to pose questions to us by entering them into the comments section on your screen, and we will pick those up later on, but we will probably do that when we're all having a well-deserved libation. Okay, so tonight I'm going to tell you a little bit about the Inspiration Series and how that came about, and then Ken is going to talk a little bit more about the Sunburst Bohemian Pilsner, and then we're going to do the tasting. Yippee!
The fun part.
Yeah, exactly. So I hope you've all got your bottles ready. They're all nice and chilled. Got a bottle opener. That's key item number 2 after a glass as well. So if you haven't got those, get those now, please. Okay, so let's get on with the obvious stuff. Why Inspiration? Why do we call it the Inspiration Series? Well, collectively at Inverraman Brewery we have over 100 years of brewing experience, and what we wanted to do was we wanted to harness all that skill and experience and use it to craft and showcase what we could do with some of our favourite world beers. So we've been inspired by different styles from around the world, and this has led us to doing a lot of experimentation, and we've had some great fun coming up with some great beers, and I've kind of lost count of the number of trial beers that have been put in front of me on the desk that I've had to drink, which is fantastic. Now that is part of the glamour of my job, which is really good. And it's given us the opportunity to show that we can be a little bit edgier, and that we want to produce, really delicious brews. Now, we decided to call it a series because if we said it was going to be a range, by definition that's got a beginning and an end to it. So we didn't want to constrict ourselves by saying that we had to finish the project at some point. We want to just be able to take the opportunity to do as many of these favourite beers as we possibly can over the next wee while. And we're delighted to be able to bring you this as a live beer blogging event. So hope you're enjoying it so far. In terms of how we actually arrived at the beers that we're going to bring out in this Inspiration Series, we put together a new product development team, and we decided it was really important to have as many people from different parts of the brewery as possible, not just senior management people and the people that sit around doing nothing all day long like me. So we got guys from, we got Draymond, John, on the shop floor. We got Kirsty, who works marketing for us. We've got a couple of our brewers, that's Graham and Andrew, to work together and to come up with some ideas of the type of beers they'd like to produce. They've worked these up, they've done some trial brews. As I mentioned, we've done a lot of tasting of this, and it's all been great fun over this period. So, without much further ado, you've heard enough from me. I'm going to pass over to my colleague Ken, who's going to talk to you a little bit about the Sunburst Bohemian Pilsner, and then we're going to do the tasting. Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Fergus. Cheers. Yes. Sunburst Bohemian Pilsner. It's our number 1 in the Inspiration Series. There's the bottle, if I can hold it up to the camera like that.
I'll give you the glasses.
In its beautiful club colours. we decided to go for a different type of approach to the packaging of this beer. It's a great tasting beer, but even more, it's a great looking beer. Fantastic colours and great bold definition. And one thing I like about the particular label is that it's actually quite tactile, and I'm not sure if you can hear that, but I can hear it talking to me. That's quite nice. Now, Sunburst Pilsner, it's a Sunburst Bohemian Pilsner. It's actually a beautiful beer. It's been in the making for probably 15 years now. It's something I've always wanted to do, and it's been inspired because the Inspiration series is all about beers that are inspired by something, and in this case it's the great brewing traditions of the Czech lands, the Czech Republic. We've been brewing it for some time on draft, but we've never been able to put it into bottle before. This is because we didn't have enough tank space. It takes a long time to make this beautiful beer. Cold fermentation and icy cold lagering, it needs a lot of tank space. And when we had it in draft, we just couldn't do that with the available tank space that we had. A few years ago, we moved to a new site, and we put in a plan to develop the maturation or the lagering cellar, and we now have 6 dedicated tanks that we can lager beers like Sunburst in. And I'm very pleased that we can actually bring this to you in this format. And some of you will notice that it's actually a 330ml bottle, and it's great beer. Long, slow, cold fermentation, icy cold lagering, 8 weeks, and it's really, in my view, all about the flavour, because I'm sure you're aware that beer is all about the flavour. This long maturation process really only works, in my view, with a really good yeast. And we're very lucky because we get our yeast from Czech Republic, from the Prague's Břevnovský Klášterní Pivovar, the Břevnov Monastery Brewery, which has a really long brewing heritage. Brewing started there back in AD 993 when it was founded by Bishop Wojciech, who became a saint later on, of course, and by Prince Bohuslav. Now, I brought the yeast over from Czech for Sunburst the first time, a long time ago now. It was in the days when you could actually take liquids onto a plane. And I had a 2-litre PET bottle, slightly loose at the top to allow the CO2 to escape. And I had it in a bag under my seat between my legs, hoping that there wasn't going to be a problem. As I approached the security gate to get on the plane, the call came out, "Could a Mr. Duncan please report to security?" And I thought, oh dear, this is going to go bad. But when I explained in Czech, because I know a little bit of the language, I explained that I'm a brewer from Scotland, and my friends in a Czech brewery had given me their yeast to go to Scotland and brew their Czech Pilsner beers in Scotland. I got a salute from the staff, and they escorted me to the plane with full honours, which I was very pleased to say. I was very, very pleased. All my chums are having a good giggle, thinking I was going to be in jail. It wasn't necessarily officially approved of, but it had the best result ever, because what we have is this beautiful beer. I wanted to say a little bit about my relationship with the Czech Republic. I've been going there an awful long time. I started learning Czech back in 1968, which was during the Prague Spring, and my mother's opera company was putting on The Bartered Bride by Smetana, and I, with a few of my other chums from school, were asked to learn the boys' chorus in one of the scenes so we could sing about bears and drinking. Little did I know that this was going to have a reality later on in life. And I've been visiting Czech for the last 21 years and have learned a little bit more of the language as time goes on. And it's a great privilege for me to present to you all the #1 beer in the Inspiration series, Sunburst Bohemian Pilsner, as my homage to great brewing traditions of Czech Republic. And in Czech I could say, Milí Češi sládci a přátelé piva, vám děkuju, abych vařil takové vynikající pivečko. Which means, dear Czech brewers and friends of beer, I thank you from my heart so that I can brew such a beautiful beer. So, shall we get on with tasting it?
I think we should do it again, yes, absolutely. I think
we're all chat.
Right there. Well, here we have the, you see that? That's our #1 bottle opener, fashioned by Ken. All it is a piece of wood with a screw in it. It's fantastic. Nobody should leave home without one. So I shall pass it over to Ken.
Thank you, thank you.
We'll ceremoniously
Do the honours.
open.
The nice thing about this bottle opener is that it doesn't deform the cap for you bottle cap collectors out there.
See if I can do it as smoothly as Ken. There we go.
Okay,
Right.
in we go.
So
Pour it gently. Oh, goodness me.
gently. That lovely, thick, creamy head that's pouring in. Perfect.
Oh, sensational. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
what's this beer about? First of all, I like to look at it. I like to admire beer.
Mm.
Beautiful, thick, creamy head, and light golden straw colour underneath. There's the sunburst down here with the cloud overhead. It's just beautiful.
Absolutely perfect. I mean, does that not just look fantastic?
Oh,
Ken? Yeah.
Beautiful
Yeah.
stuff. Beautiful stuff.
Yeah.
Chin chin. Bonjour.
Such one.
Na zdraví. What we have is on the aroma. I mean, just breathe it in. Lovely stuff. We've got freshness, fresh air. Not fresh air, but that ozone freshness that you get from Saaz hops. And a little herbiness and spiciness. And there's a lovely back aroma from the Hallertauer Hersbruck hops. It's just a dream come true. Soft malt characters. It's, for me, this is all about elegance. Oh, lovely stuff. And a wee sip.
I think we should taste it
I
now.
think so. I always breathe in when I take a sip. I get more of the aromas. Oh my goodness me. Run it around your mouth.
That's brilliant. Fabulous.
It's nice, gentle. It's all about exquisiteness, this beer. Malty palate, just nice and complex. Lots of characters in there. Biscuity maltiness and just smoothness. And it's lovely and crisp. And the crispness comes from the slow, cold fermentation. And that will just enhance or allow the hops and the malt characters to shine through. And a very, very subdued fruitiness, low esters because of cold fermentation again. And then, you know, just a nice, soft, lingering finish. Sorry, Fergus.
For me, Ken, it's the superb balance in this beer. It's the sweetness. It's just absolutely perfectly pitched with the bitterness.
Yeah.
I mean, I really do think it makes such a beautiful, drinkable beer.
It's an all malt beer, and it, you know, with that maltiness, you want to have a reasonable amount of bitterness. So the bitterness level for the techies out there is around 25 IBU, and its original gravity is 1047, in fact. But beautiful beer, and just Moorish. In fact, they say there's a proverb. I'm told it's Czech, but I don't know anyone Czech who knows it, which goes, "You can taste a beer with one sip, but it's best to be thoroughly sure."
Absolutely. I'll drink to that.
That's the
Well,
right.
I can see we've got a few questions that have come in already, Ken, and Tricia Arvolpa is wondering where we get our bottle openers. Well, I would just like to say, we saw this one earlier. If I may say to Tricia, what you need to do is take a piece of 4x2 and a very sharp knife and get whittling.
Whittling away. Whittle away.
Whittle till it becomes this size, and then you put your screw in it. That's it. It's as simple as that, honestly. I know we've got one from Kirsty Lecky Palmer. I believe she's from Perth.
Right.
She's asking, what temperature do you recommend serving it at?
I recommend, and it's my personal taste, but I also like my sunburst relatively cool, not icy chilled, but there's no right or wrong in this. It's really what tastes best. I like mine chilled, but not, in buckets of ice.
I do like mine probably a little bit colder than you can, but you see, that's the great thing about beers in bottle. You can choose what temperature you decide to serve it at.
In the fridge for half an hour, in the fridge overnight. The real thing is, do you want to drink more of it? Because it's drinkability. It's about drinking and enjoying.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Next.
We've got a further question in. Talk about trying to replicate the Czech style. And so what kind of Scottish attributes do we bring to the beer, Ken?
Well, apart from the Czech flag, the Scottish attributes. Now, that's a very good question. Scottish malt. That's very important, and it's Scottish water. That's good. We're very lucky in Perth because the water we have here is nice and soft, just like they have in Budvar and in Pilsen. So it's beautiful soft water. But what we bring to it is our skill and knowledge and know-how and our caring about the beer. We want the beer to be as good as we can get it. So it's our experience and our love for beer. That's what we really bring.
Excellent. Well, I think we've got time for one more question. And it's also from Kirsty Lecky Palmer, still in Perth.
Very popular.
You say it's the only authentic Czech Pilsner brewed in Scotland, and Kirsty's wanting to know, how do we
Did I say that? I don't know.
How do we know
It
that?
says on the bottle.
Well, because it says it on the bottle.
It must be true then.
Yep. This bit at the back, it says it on there. So,
Because I think I'm the only one that goes over to Czech to get the yeast from a brewery in Prague. That's what makes this. That's what makes this authentic.
absolutely, yes.
It's the Czech yeast that I get from my good friend Honza in Prague.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching tonight. We hope you've enjoyed it, and hope those of you that have had bottles of beer have enjoyed tasting them. They are now officially launched.
Hooray!
Enjoy!
Hallelujah!
Buy it from our website.
Sanjivar!
Yes, here's the link.
Yes.
Here's the link.
Cheers.
As you can see below.
Hooray.
Let me make it go off.
Well, that's you don't say that at that point because we just covered it.